Let's go ahead and go over the 4 keys to the game. Key number 1, contain Keith Toston or get toasted. It's that simple. Oklahoma must be able to contain Keith Toston receiving and especially running the ball. They had a difficult time against Baron Batch last week against Tech, and Keith Toston, I think, is an even better back than Batch. Nothing against Batch, but Toston is a two-dimensional threat as well. So for Alexander, for Beal, for McCoy, and for Taylor, that interior for Oklahoma, who's been so terrific all season long, even against Texas, but for the first time last week looked very mortal against Texas Tech. And I think part of that was due to lack of emotion, and part of it also was because Tech had a good game plan by mixing it up, and it kept Oklahoma guessing all day. We will see if the Oklahoma interior can bounce back, and they'll need to. Otherwise, Oklahoma State will be very capable of pulling off the win, and Keith Toston would be a reason why. Key number 2 to this game, you have to run if you're Oklahoma. Something that they did not do well against Texas Tech, something that they haven't done well against the quality opponents all season long. This is a quality opponent. This is a big game. For Oklahoma, Chris Brown, DeMarco Murray have to have nice games, but they can't do it if the line doesn't do their part. There is no sugarcoating this. Oklahoma will lose this game if they run the ball the way that they ran it against Tech last Saturday. Key number 3 of this game, third down, a major key. It's been a key to the game at least a couple of times on a weekly matchup show, but there's no denying that Oklahoma loses games this season because of their inconsistency on third down. Less than 30% on third downs in the Tech loss last week. Now, Oklahoma State, conversely, they struggled on third down on that Thursday night game just a few days ago against Colorado, and as a result, Oklahoma State almost lost that game. But the week before, against that same Texas Tech squad, Oklahoma State was 50% on third down tries. See where I'm coming from? Third down, there's no denying how important third down is. The difference between keeping those drives alive for scores and also the difference between you happen to punt the ball and contemplating going for it on fourth down. So third down, no denying how big of a key this is. This might be the biggest key to the game. And then key number 4, win by special means. We're talking about the special teams of Oklahoma. The one great thing that we could say about the Sooners in that loss last week is that Patrick O'Hara, maybe Oklahoma did find a place kicker. On the road in Lubbock, made 2 field goals. One of them was from nearly 50 yards away. I think that's a big sigh of relief for Bob Stoops that maybe O'Hara can do what Stevens couldn't do consistently earlier in the year, and also what Tress Way, how he struggled against Nebraska by missing 3 kicks. 2 of them, I thought, kicks that he should have made. So when you're looking at O'Hara, he could be the X factor in this ballgame, because if this game is going the way the odds makers think it's going to go, it's going to come down to the end. So O'Hara. Here's my final thought on the game. Oklahoma did not have the emotion that it took to put up a good fight in Lubbock. Now, would it have surprised me with the emotion and with the execution if Oklahoma had still lost the game at Texas Tech? Probably not. But to get blown out the way they did, I think that that is going to anger the Sooners and lead to a really good week of preparation. And they'll have to have it to beat Oklahoma State. The Cowboys, they are proof that the loss to Houston did not deter them from having a terrific season. They've only lost 1 time since the Houston game, and of course there's no shame in losing to Texas, especially the way the Longhorns are playing this year. Oklahoma State has also proven that they can win on the road. They're 3-0 on the road this year. But this is absolutely, no doubt, Oklahoma State's toughest road match of the year. You can look at Oklahoma's record at 6-5, and I think for this game, you can put that record to the side. As good as Oklahoma State is, and as much as this game means to them to keep their BCS hopes alive, you have to remember where this game is being played, where no team has been able to win in Norman the last 29 tries. There is a reason why Oklahoma has not lost a home game in 4 years. It's because they're darn good there, and they play with a lot more emotion at home than they do on the road. On the road, they're about a 500 team in the Bob Stoops era the last 4 years. At home, it's a different story, And I think it's just that comfort as well. There is truly no place like Gaylord Memorial Stadium for Oklahoma. That factor alone, I think, gives the Sooners an advantage. And whether Zach Robinson, Oklahoma State's all-everything quarterback, plays or not, we don't know if he's going to play yet. We'll find out probably closer to game day due to that concussion that he suffered against Texas Tech back on November 14th. But whether he plays or not, it'll be a tough chore for Oklahoma State to win on the road. And there is a reason why Oklahoma is favored at home. That's because they're a better team at home. Oklahoma, in a nail-biter, I think, will win the game 34-31, and then we could probably talk the Sun Bowl or the Alamo Bowl for the Sooners. By the way, it doesn't look like, even if Oklahoma were to lose this game, that they would go to the Independence Bowl. Texas A&M would probably be in line for that because of the proximity between College Station and Shreveport, Louisiana. A&M would bring more fans to that game. I think the Independence Bowl would rather have A&M because of the crowd support that A&M would bring to Louisiana. I think Oklahoma, though, getting back to the Bedlam game in a high-scoring game, will win and finish out the regular season on a high note and possibly get ready for a showdown against USC in the Sun Bowl. Of course, we'll have to wait and see how the bowl projections turn out, but Oklahoma in a close game to win 7 in a row over the Cowboys. We will have our post-game show coming up, by the way, on Saturday between the Cowboys and the Sooners. We'll let you know how everything turned out. So long for now, and happy Thanksgiving.